Some of you need a little bit of help with the Andy the Ant to get it set up. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you that. I'm going to go ahead and start with opening my Adobe Animate. While that loads, I'm going to go over here and start getting my stuff I'm going to need. Oh, it launched quickly, so it's good. So I'm going to do create new. And then I'm just going to do, so the frame rate's 30, that's fine, that's fine. So I'm just going to do create. And so right here's my timeline. I'm going to go ahead and get my background set up. So I can click right here and change that name. And I'm going to go to properties where I can change my stage name. I hit deny on that so that pops up for you to hit deny. So I can have a different color sky background going on there. What color do I want? I'll do that one. You can choose any color for your sky. Not a big deal there. Just want to have that in play, and if it's really big like that, I can do command minus and it'll make it smaller so it's easier to see. So I'm going to go over here to Google, and I'm going to Google grass PNG. And first one I click on, I think that's going to be a web, so hold on, because I've seen that on others. See how it still says white, so that's not going to be a PNG. What we want is one that goes from white to then that checkered background. You don't want to start with that checkered background. So that one would be a PNG. Let's see. I can come up here and click on images to get more. Find one that I like. See, if I click on it, it still says white, then we know that's not good. And see how that went to the checkered. Let's see, so if I pull it off and it says PNG, then I know I'm good. So then I'm gonna go over here to animate and drag that there. And see, it's huge right now. So I'm gonna click right here on the free transform and make it the size I need. It's okay if it's a little off, so that the edges aren't messing up. Okay, so there's my background. And let's say if I want to add some trees or something, I can do trees. Kind of a hard one to find sometimes. Like I just know in the past I've had issues finding one. So that one worked. So again, I'm just dragging that to my background, and then I can drag it onto here, make it a little bigger if I want. So say if I want the tree to be behind this one, then I would have to create a different layer, or I can do arrange and do bring to front. So then the tree is kind of hidden behind there. So up to you on how you want to style that. There we go. Okay, and then so say if that's what I want, if I'm good there, I can go ahead and do scroll over here and do insert frame. And it's going to make it all one frame for me, or one long frame. The number of frames that I need. This is not going to move, so I'm not really worried about it. I can lock it so that I don't mess with it. Then I'm going to create my next layer. So right there's the plus button for a new layer. And so if I'm going to make my ant here, let's see, I'm just picking a random red, and then I'm going to have an outline to him. And then I can come over here and I can click on my oval tool and kind of draw it out. So then whenever I can click on V and it'll automatically change it to this, or I can go up here and click. But see, I can click here and that's the shape, and I have to hold down my shift key in order to get that background to make sure I have both, or else I can't work with it. So I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to do convert to symbol, and I'm going to label it as body. These I did not convert to symbol because I'm not going to move them. So if I'm going to do head, and then mid, and butt. That's just how I label. Switch it up so that they're in the right order. So there's my head. And see, I can go over here to my library, and right there's the body. So I can get it set up and then do my butt. And see, if I want this one to be longer, I can go up here and make it longer. So there's that. And then once I have that all sized up, I can do that. So now I have the size I want. So that's our body. And then, sweet. So then now let's look at the feet. Creating a bunch of layers for this one. So we're gonna do leg 1, leg 2, leg 3, leg 4, leg 5, and leg 6. There we go. So to do that, I'm going to start down here on my leg 1, and I can go and create a line there. See, it's right there. And if that's too tiny for me, I can go to properties, and on my stroke here I can change my color, I can make it bigger. There we go. And then a lot of the times I like to create a foot for him, so I can do that. For some reason that color didn't work. Try that again. There we go. So then again, I hold down my shift key. If I need to line that up, I can click on it and then use my arrows, but then I hold down my shift key. If I want to make it smaller, I can. And then I right click and do convert to symbol. We're gonna call that leg. See if that's still too big, I can shape it however I need to. If I really need to change something, I can double click on it. Let's see. There we go. Make that a little bit thinner. And see, that's going to actually edit the symbol to do that. I can make it however I need for that. There we go. So that's leg 1. Go to my library. See, there's still the big one. So I can copy that though. Oop. And paste. The leg I need. And see, I'm making sure each layer has its own leg. Put that one up here. Okay. So if I want to make this a little bit more dimensional though, I can go and take like my butt here, or start with the head, bring that one all the way up, and then my mid is gonna go up here, and we're gonna want leg 1. Let's see, okay. So leg 6 can go in front, and then leg 4 is gonna go up here. So basically I'm gonna have evens and odds. So that way it creates a little bit more dimension. So you can see, boom, boom, boom. Okay. So then Andy here also needs an antenna. I'm gonna do a 1 and a 2, and then can actually go up here and paste that and rotate it. And then do the same here. Okay. And now he has antennas. And see, the only thing I've created so far is 2 symbols. So then for his eyes, I can do a really thick one for that, so I can go over to properties, bring that down, hold down my shift, and then let's see, do convert to symbol, I1, oops, and then I2. Okay, so we're gonna take that one and put it there, and then copy it and put it there. Great. And then we're gonna do a little pupil, so I can do P1 and P2, and then make both of these black, so that I can just do a little pupil. And I'm gonna convert that to symbol. And it helps if you have these lined up. Like, see, I accidentally put P2 on I1, so I could drag that over. There we go. Want to make sure everything ends up on its own layer. And then for the mouth, I can either do a brush or I can do a line. So if I do a line, I can also edit that to make it into a smile. And ta-da. Okay guys, so that's the setup for Andy, and I'll show you how to actually make a move here in the next video.